Howdy folks, over the past decade or so I visited Iceland more than a dozen times. It's one of my favorite countries to visit. Went twice just last year, planning to go again in the next month or two. Absolutely love it. Now you might have seen we released a video from our last trip. I was specifically there scouting out a new trip for the springtime and finishing up on a book. Now over all of those trips I have a great collection of images at different times of year all around the country. And I want to finish that off as a coffee table book that I'll be able to sell, but also as kind of a piece of marketing material that I can use to sell my tours to the country to show the kind of images that you're able to create there. Now in this video, I'm actually going to design the book, lay it out, send it off to print, and then unveil it. I'm going to try and make it nice and quick so you can see the whole process and the results, and I would love to hear what you guys think of it. Whilst I'm at it, I'm also planning to make some prints, testing out different kinds of paper stock because I want to do some fine art saleable prints and see the results I get on different stocks. And I'm also going to lay out a full physical portfolio as well. So let's jump in and start laying it out. As I said, I'm going to do this nice and quick for you. So the layout part I've actually done before, and this is going to be shown to you a little bit sped up. So I'm using the Saal design software here. I've made literally hundreds of books with Saal for a lot of my tours. I make one for every single one of my guests as a collection of our images from that particular trip. Amazing memento and just the best image quality, print quality, design, layout, everything is absolutely top notch. So I feel very confident to put my work into one of their books. Now I'm going with an acrylic covered book that has a picture on the cover. I'm going to go with a puffin shot on the cover. And then you can basically drag and lay it out to get it to where you want, and the software will tell you if it is high enough res or not, which is really important because once you've stretched it and whatever, and if you, just in case like a draft image got into your finals folder, it will let you know if it's not high enough quality to get the best results. Then because they're lay flat books, you can put single images across multiple pages, that kind of thing. And you can start out with one particular size book and add pages or remove them later, and you'll just get charged for the pages that you use. So I'm trying to get a variety of different images here, different times of year, different kinds of images. So I'm not looking to put mountain after mountain back to back or horse and horse back to back, that kind of thing. I'm trying to show the diversity of kind of images that you can make on a trip like this. So the real time of laying out the book was probably like 15 to 20 minutes after I already had my images all laid out and exported at a high quality JPEG. Really fairly straightforward. Add that to the basket. Now the portfolio I want to design here is actually really cool. It's using real photo paper, so it's the highest quality images, and then they're secured down the side in like the way an old scrapbook was. So it's really easy to just print new photos, and you know, every 6 months or a year when you want to update your portfolio, take out old images, put in new ones, and keep your portfolio really fresh. So for that one, I'm just going for classic, no image on the cover, because that's going to date over time and it may not be how I want to present myself. So just, you know, my company name, portfolio on a clean linen looking album with a whole bunch of my favorite images from the past 15 years or so. Finally, I also laid out a couple of my favorite images that have great tonal range and variety of colors in them, and tried them on different paper stocks to see how they're going to look, so I can get them in hand and really see which kind of rag suits my images best. Now, the print time for all of that, to print and get delivered, is around a week. So let's flash forward with the power of editing, and I will have them by then, and we can take a look at them together. right, so we're back. It's actually more like 2 or 3 weeks later. I picked these up whilst I was in America. I have taken them out of the outer packaging because I brought them home in my luggage, but this will be my first time to have a look through them. So, taking a look, first of all, this is the Iceland book. This is kind of it's still a prototype. I think to be cost effective, I might go with a different form factor or maybe without the acrylic cover. I'm going to talk through setting up and selling in the next video, and using the online system for getting sales and doing printing and all of that kind of thing on a bigger scale. But as a proof of concept, this, it's one that I'm going to keep, so I wanted a fancy cover. So it's got the protective covering still on, so let's take that off. Not one of those people who keeps the plastic on the sofa. So we have my lovely puffin friend there. And you saw, so here we go with the super panel. But as always, I mean, it's absolute print quality. I don't like to badmouth other brands, but the famous ones like Blurb and that kind of thing, their print quality is just so hit and miss, so inconsistent, and never at this level. I mean, I have absolutely no problem sending one of these straight from my design, straight to the client, knowing that the image quality is going to be exactly what I expect, because I've done it so many times now and it just always is. So great to have something that's got a big mix of images, and I really do love looking back at printed things. There's something, it reminds me of all my different trips. I got trips here with Steph, trips with all the different guests that I've taken over the years. Reminds me of my first time seeing a puffin and my first time going to different waterfalls and sites. For myself, it's something really special, but as a demonstration of the kind of things that I'm able to get my guests to the right place at the right time, from the right vantage point, finding the right angles depending on the light and the time of day and year and season, I think it's a really good calling card. Now, this is the one that I've never printed one of these before, but the concept really appealed to me. So having it be a portfolio that really is like one of those styles where you have it's kind of like a scrapbook style, but then you can see inside it's all proper Fujifilm, Fujicolor paper, so proper photo prints. I've got a variety of different aspect ratios and stuff, and you can just undo that, take out 10 of the images that you've put in and put in other ones, and know that they're going to work and that you can update it year by year, as it could be either as your style develops or as your client base changes, you're trying to get into different markets, as you just have better or more current work that you want to share, or it could be that you change the portfolio up depending on the kind of clients that you're trying to show it to. What I might show to someone who I'm trying to sell portraits to might be different to someone I'm trying to sell tours to. Somebody like Steph is not going to join a tour if I show the world's deadliest spider close up, but may join if I'm showing sand dunes, that kind of thing. So I think that's a pretty cool product, and I'm really happy with that. Looks great. The last thing I got was the photo prints, and these came all carefully wrapped up for me to make sure that they didn't get bent in transit. So let me start by opening this. Okay, so these are all inkjet prints, but wow, you can see the difference in the different paper stocks that I'm considering. Really, the skin tones are looking beautiful on both, but it's a very different way to present the work to clients. And I have to say, I've always been either a matte or gloss, but in this overall kind of a finish, this is kind of got a leathery finish to it, but this could be one of the first fully matte finished ones that I've ever had printed of any of my work that I absolutely love the look on. And so they're all tagged, so I can go back and check exactly which paper stock is which and which one I actually want to go with for, printing for clients. I just love this shot. This was the Mercy tribe that we visited in Ethiopia. It really takes a bit of patience and local insider knowledge to get to see the tribes, but also do it in a respectful way that is respecting their tribe, but also is going to yield any kind of usable images. They're so used to tour buses pulling up and 20 people standing together for one posed shot. It took quite a bit of patience and work and spending time with them to get these kind of candid moments like that. I guess you could say the same of young Johanna as well. Not really. So these are much closer, but still the way that it's rendering the highlights on the two is different, and the saturation between them. Nice, and the texture on them is significantly different between the two. Interesting. And the last one I did a couple of print options on was these ones that I took in Kyoto a couple of years ago. I love this shot. I was back in Kyoto just very, very recently, and was shooting the geisha again, and I didn't get any that I love quite as much as these ones. Really, really nice. I'll give a little summary on screen now, having referenced the images and the order, and let you know which were the paper stocks that I actually am preferring there with Sal. So I would love to hear your thoughts on the books, the images that we're sharing, and this whole process. If you haven't printed your own work, I can't recommend it highly enough. Take on a project, put together a body of work, whether it's over the course of a holiday or on a particular theme of images that you've shot over time. It's a great challenge to cull them down and try and put together a cohesive series. I've put together the video, the last one in this series, about shooting for print. That can be a great guide for getting you to that point. So I hope that you found this one useful. Let me know any questions or comments that you have. And soon, not too long from now, I'll be going through and showing you going through and setting up an online portal to be actually able to sell your work and generate some income from this, what is for most people a hobby. For me, it'll be a new income stream as part of my business. Again, let me know any questions you have. Thank you to Sal for helping with printing all of this, and I'll see you guys soon.